you better be as authentic and genuine as you can possibly be, because my presence will bring out any shadiness, any type of sketchiness, any delusions you've got going on. Hi, hello everyone, my name is Douglas. You can call me Doug, Dougie, Dougie Roo, whatever makes you feel happy. Thank you so much for visiting my channel today over here in my space. I just like to focus on, love, light, and just making you feel good. Okay, so I will admit to you, this is like the second time I've tried to film this video, and I was filming some content recently, and I just was like, not feeling very motivated, and I was just kind of like going through it. And I don't like to bring any kind of just going through the motions kind of content. And I was looking over the footage and I was like, something, I could probably do this video better. And I was reading it, I was looking at it and I was like, but why could I do it better? And one of the reasons I thought I could do it better was because I just didn't find a lot of information available on the subject specifically for what I was talking about. Today, I want to talk about non-Christian based spiritual gifts. Okay, so real talk, this was so frustrating for me today. So in addition to having to film this video a couple of different times, when I was doing this second bit of research, I realized I just couldn't come up with anything that wasn't specifically Christian based. I want to talk about spiritual gifts, and I'm not talking about things that were given to you by God. I mean things from the universe. Things that are for everyone, because one commonality I was reading, in addition to everything being Christian-based, was that the spiritual gifts that are referenced in the Bible are for Christians only. And I don't like the exclusivity. Why do you gotta be so exclusive? Anywho, spiritual gifts are real. They're not just for Christians. They are not just phony baloney. Everyone is special. Everyone has things about them that make them unique. And I just don't vibe with the exclusivity of what I was reading in the Bible-based spiritual gifts. In fact, I'm going to read you a little bit about what I saw. I'm going to read a passage of what I read. When you Google witchy spiritual gifts, they come up with things from Spencer's gifts. And I'm like, no, not a physical. I'm talking about the gift of discernment, or the gift of being able to predict the future. Those kinds of gifts are what I'm talking about. You can call them witchy, you can call them godly, whatever. These are the things that connect you with the universe. So you might have these very vivid dreams of a whole story, and then the next day that thing happens. Or maybe you can just kind of tell what people are thinking and feeling, you know what I mean? Maybe when you walk into a room, you just are able to make everyone feel better, or worse. What are your spiritual gifts? When I Googled spiritual gifts, it came up with all the Bible stuff. And I'm just going to read this definition, and I'm going to then expand on it from my own perspective, because I don't vibe with necessarily this definition. Here's the definition. Spiritual gifts are capabilities or abilities imparted to Christians by the Holy Spirit to enable them to exceed the limitations of their finite humanity in order to serve other believers to the glory of God. Okay. I don't like that that specifies that it's... Okay. I'm not talking about that a Bible spiritual gift, because I disagree with this. I believe spiritual gifts are abilities that connect us with the universe, they connect us with self, and they connect us with our highest timeline, and they're for everybody. Everybody has them. I don't believe that they're just for uplifting a specific belief set. How narrow-minded, you know what I mean? Because everyone's got them. So today I want to talk about what my spiritual gifts might be. I want to talk about how we can better, define what our spiritual gifts are. And I also just want to turn it to you and say, am I in the right ballpark? Because I couldn't find anything. I just couldn't find a lot of data. It was just very frustrating, you know what I mean? That is, the next point I want to talk about is, so that's what a spiritual gift is. Whether you talk about it from the Bible standpoint or just a regular spiritual standpoint, whatever, that's spiritual gift. It's just something that connects you with whatever your who is. Okay. The next point is, can our gifts change with time, and is there a limit to the amount of gifts we can have? So the first part of that is, yeah, we are always evolving. When you were a baby, you started off with a completely different set of cells, skin, bones, muscle than what you have currently. You are a physically different individual than you were when you were first born. And the same thing can be true for your spiritual gifts. They can evolve, they can change entirely. More than likely what happens though is that you just discover other gifts that you have. I don't believe that you can lose your gifts. I believe that you can become less connected with them. I believe that you can just kind of put them to the side. I don't think you can fully lose them ever. I think that once you realize your gift, it's just there always, because it always has been. But I don't think that there's a limitation to the amount of gifts a person can have. I think that there are people that just have many natural talents that just make them seem like they're just the most, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got that person. Everyone's special, but you have those people that it's just like, oh my goodness, this person's great at every sport. They're just super intelligent. Maybe they're very good looking. They have all the friends. They have a great family, like that kind of thing. It's like, oh man, whatever. But those are kind of like surface level things to me. So I want to talk about what the actual gifts could be, what they might look like. And I'm gonna do that by just talking about what I believe my gifts are, okay? What I've identified as my top 3 main spiritual gifts, I don't know the wording for this. I might look up a word to put across, I don't know. But whatever this is called, the skill though is bringing people together. Gosh, I always bring people together. So many times in my life, I am like the hitch point. Is that the right phrase? Like, there are 2 different independent things or people, and then they interact because of my existence. I actually really love that. You know, I've had several different friends over the course of time who ended up getting married because I introduced them, or maybe you know, someone was hanging out with me. I was dating a person at a specific college, and then the person I was hanging out with was like, "Ooh, I've never heard of that college. Let me go check that out." They go there, they thrive, they meet their partner for life. They have kids now. Those kids exist because of the fact that I was talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's and obviously they're not my kids. I didn't do anything. I'm just the hitch point. I bring people together. One of my spiritual gifts is just bringing energies, vibrations that are similar together. I love that because I think one of the main ways we can truly be successful on our path to true enlightenment and spiritual growth is finding our people. And it can be tough to find our people, but we all have them. And thankfully, one of my gifts is just making sure people are able to find their people. And it is ironic that I have myself struggled with finding what would be considered my people over the course of some of my life, you know? But I think that there is a lesson in all things. And so that's one of my main spiritual gifts, is the ability to just bring together similar vibrations manifesting in people together. I love it. So my next spiritual gift is, I guess it's overall empathy, I guess. You'll have those people that'll, you'll get on TikTok and those people will be like, I'm an empath. Life is an empath. It's obnoxious, but it is real. It's true. And I'm an empath too. So it's like, yeah, I walk into the room and I do feel the emotions in the room. And I don't mean just like I feel your emotions. No. I specifically feel what it is you're going through. And a lot of times I know what it is you're going through without knowing it, if that makes sense. I won't come out and be like, I'm psychic, but there are times where it's like it borderlines very quick, very closely. But yeah, I'm definitely an empath. Your emotions are going to impact me. They're going to affect me. I'm going to take on whatever the characteristics were of the room sometimes. And a lot of times my energy affects the energy in the room too. So like if I'm having a particular bad day, the energy kind of turns sour. Or if I'm having a great day, the energy can, turn up in the room. So if you're an empath like that, like myself, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But that's one of those gifts that it's like, yeah, I'm thankful for it because I have it and it is a part of me. It's not going anywhere. But I also am still navigating it and learning how to like really love it, how to really internalize it, and how to really just make the most of it, while also being able to still identify what emotions are my own versus the emotions of other people near me or that I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? Because that's also a huge struggle as an empath. There are so many emotions and energy everywhere. It's just everywhere all the time. And if you're not focused, or if you're just not being intentional, you can easily get swept up and overwhelmed. And next thing you're depressed because of what your neighbor's feeling, and it wasn't even you, but you've now started an argument with your partner because of the emotions of downstairs. You just gotta be very aware if you're an empath, for sure. So that's my second spiritual gift: empathy, being an empath, however you want to phrase that. It's hit or miss. I'm 35 and still navigating that. So we'll to be continued on if I love that trait right now. Okay, so my third, and this will be my last spiritual gift that I'm gonna of my own that I'm going to talk about right now. I don't know the wording for this, but my presence brings out truth in people and circumstances. So I take that to mean that if you're around me, you better be as authentic and genuine as you can possibly be, because my presence will bring out any shadiness, any type of sketchiness, any delusions you've got going on. If you're in a sham of a relationship and you come into my home, I promise you by the time you leave, we could literally watch Barney the whole time you're here, and by the time you leave, there will be things that change in your relationship at home if it's not on the level. Just by being around me. I can't help it. It is just one of those things. I'm telling you, if you come and talk to me and I just listen, you'll get home and that'll be the day that you get into the biggest fight with your mom you've ever had in your entire life, but it was the fight you needed to have because you've been kind of avoiding it, and that happened because you were in my presence. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry. I bring out truth and light in circumstances and people. If you are a naturally dishonest person, that's gonna come out. You will start slipping up. You're gonna start telling truth when you don't want to tell. You're gonna tell me your whole life story and I won't ask for it. You're just gonna do it. It's my energy. It's who I am, and that's a role I've really started embracing lately in life. I used to not like that because I'd have so many people that would want to be my friend or want to hang out, and they'll get around me and they don't know about my energy. They don't know that about my effect on people. And so they'll get angry with me out of nowhere, want to fight me, want to end the friendship. And it's like, hey man, I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you. If you hang around me, you can't be fake. You can't be fake. It's too real on this end. And that's take it or leave it. You know, that's why I'm so honest. That's why I just say what's on my mind, because there's no point in being dishonest. There's no point in lying. Nope. Just say the truth, say the thing, get it out there, communication. And please, just if you're not that way, that's fine, but you got to stay away from me. You do, because I promise I could be silent and truth will still come out of your mouth. It will. And it just is what it is. So those are my 3 main spiritual gifts. I'm sure there are more. I know there are more. For instance, I bring joy. I bring laughter. I can make people laugh. In my personal life, I think that's another strength. That's another gift. We're gonna talk about real quick. What are some ways to find your spiritual gifts? Now, here's the deal. I'm still learning. Okay, so I'm open to suggestions and I'm open to strategies, but these are some ways I've been able to find out what my spiritual gifts were, okay? The first and main one, honestly, is just meditation. Get into a mindful state, silent, peaceful, where you're able to just be clearer and just really ask the important questions of the universe. And like I've said, ask them out loud. You can keep them in here, but ask them out loud. Meditation, just being at peace and asking for that clarity, okay? Amethyst stone, get you one of these. You want that clarity. That's a good combination. That's the first one. Okay, so the next strategy, it's a little amorphous. It's not like the next strategy is objective living and then observation. So if you want to know what your spiritual gift is, you need to kind of live your life as if you're playing The Sims and you are the sim and you're just living, okay? You do that for a time, however long the time is. I kind of did this over the course of like 10 years, unconsciously, of course. I'm now looking back at it like, oh, okay, I was doing that, but no. Anyways, but you live your life and then you just observe. You observe, analyze, and you say, okay, how has my impact really shaped the people and circumstances around me? How has my presence in the room really affected others? How do people observe me? What do people think about me? What do they say to and about me? That kind of observation. And take your own ego out of it. Take your own expectations out of it, because you might come into it thinking, I've got this strength. I know it. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Or maybe that's not the strength you're supposed to discover right now. You know what I mean? So just be open. And if nothing else, find someone you trust and just ask them their opinion. Now, you need to trust yourself, okay? Only you can tell you what your gift is, but it doesn't hurt to just ask a person what their thoughts are. I hope you loved this video. I hope you love the channel. Please don't feel, did I miss anything? Did I miss any spiritual gifts? Are there any gifts I could have covered? Do you want to hear more about this? What are your spiritual gifts? Please comment below and tell me, what are you gifted at? How is the universe, shined down on you? I don't know. Don't forget, I post new content every Sunday and Thursday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please comment below, say I subscribed. I'd love to hear from you. We are so powerful. You are beautiful. We attract love, light, peace, safety, and security. I will post more soon. Talk to you later.